this week's episode of the Author Collaborative. As always, I'll be talking to an author whose book I have recently read and enjoyed. And my guest for this week is Monica Dodeja, and she's already here. We are going to talk about her book, and we are going to talk about how she came up with the interesting mashup of science fiction and self-help and spirituality. So it's a very interesting read. I enjoyed reading the book. It was very inspiring, and we are going to talk with the author about the book. So to stay connected, she is already here. So I'm going to invite her, and we can start the episode. Okay, I don't think the invitation went through. I'm sending you a fresh invitation, Monica. Okay, I've sent you another invitation. See if you received it.
Okay.
Hi, Monica. This
Hi.
so happy to see you and welcome to my show. Very excited to talk to
Thank,
you.
thank you, thank you. I cannot see you though.
Mm, generally, that happens. It's an Instagram glitch.
Okay,
Uh,
okay,
I'm just going to confirm from the audience. Jitendra is
okay.
here. I'm just going to confirm from them.
Yeah,
Jitendra, if you can let us know in the comments if both of us are visible and audible, we can continue with the episode. Otherwise, we'll start again. Can you let us know in the comments if both of us are visible and audible? Whoever is here in the audience, if you can confirm with
yeah.
us. Okay.
Okay, so yes, he says
Okay.
yes. So,
Wonderful. Yes.
all right.
Okay. Continue. Okay. So first of all, welcome once again. And before we go ahead, please briefly introduce yourself to the audience.
Well, hi, and thank you. Thank you for having me on your Insta Live. And yes, I have to admit, this is my first Insta Live, so I'm just getting there. And well, for all of you, I'm Monica, and I'm an author. I have written this book, A Journey from I to Me. I'm an existential well-being coach as well. I am a speaker, a corporate trainer where I do, soft skills and various other trainings. And yeah, my passion lies in cooking. I love to look after my family. I love to do things around the house. And yeah, that's a little bit about me. Very passionate, very excited soul, I must say. That is what I am. I'm always at it for various things. I cannot, sit still. I like to keep exploring, keep learning, and keep dabbling at different things. So yeah, I have my podcast. Yes, sorry I have to mention that too. That's on midlife. It's called Midlife Identity, where I speak about the concerns in midlife. It's about rebuilding and reinventing ourselves in our midlife. So yeah, so that's my passion. It's been almost 3 years for my podcast, which is on Spotify and on YouTube and Apple and various other platforms. And that is something I really enjoy, wherein I have guests coming in my podcast where we speak with real people about real challenges in life and how each one of them have learned to face challenges, navigate their challenges, and come to a point where they are today and rebuild their life in their 40s and 50s. So yeah, that's what it is. A little bit
Okay.
about.
Thank you for sharing that. And we have had a lot of people joining in, and they are also sending us heart. So, hi to everyone who joined us. Uh, my guest Monica was just telling us about herself, and now we move on to the main part of the show, which is where we are going to focus on her book. So, let me just first show the cover to everyone. If you have the paperback, Monica, please show them to everyone.
Yes, yes. So this is my book.
Journey from I to Me, and this is your debut book, right?
Yes, that's my first book, written from my heart and soul.
Yes, so I was very it was a curious read for me first, because when I
Okay.
started reading it, it began as a science fiction and then it moved on to self-help and inspirational and spiritual. It was a lot of self-discovery and self-motivation, self-inspiration kind of thing. And I have not read that kind of a mashup before, so I was very intrigued by that first of all. And as I went on reading it, I realized that a lot of it can also be called a memoir because you have drawn from your own experiences. So
Yes.
very interesting mashup of the genres. And since we are talking about the mashup of the genres, I thought I'll read out the part where the science fiction moves on into the self-help part, which is from the first, I can say, prologue, and then we move on to the main part of the book. So we are going to start at the prologue, where we are in the year 2121, I think, right?
Yes, yes, right. 100 years ahead.
Yes. And so we meet this character called Vikramaditya, who's fondly called Addy, and we are going to see how he comes upon something which is about to change his life. So I'm going to read out that part. Okay, so this is the part. Almost in tears, wondering where he is lost in this world of artificially created intelligence and the real actual world, which is already within him. He does not even know it exists, but at the same time, he experiences it. He feels sad and at a loss. Then suddenly, he sees a bright light shining, a haze, a few rainbow colored baubles in the air. They just come and go in a fraction of a second. He's fascinated, something which he has never seen. He feels very close to those baubles. He's in a happy, radiant state by merely looking at them. He believes that those sightings may have the answer. I'm going to skip something and move on further so
Mm,
that we can move on to the part where we are actually in the past now. He was
mm,
scared, frightened, excited, ecstatic, and no words could express what he felt at that moment. He opened his eyes and he ran to the stack of books and rummaged through it to find a beautiful brown colored leather bound book. The feel of this book is smooth in his hands, and his hands are trembling. He holds it tightly close to his chest for fear of dropping it. It may disappear or get lost, he feels. What is in store for him? His hands are trembling. This precious leather bound book he holds has words etched in gold. Journey from I to me. In search of the missing puzzle of in search of the missing piece of the puzzle called life. From ordinary to extraordinary by Monica. Empowers to build a legacy. He runs his fingers on the golden edged words, fascinated and drawn to an era where he felt a sense of oneness, belonging, a feeling he always awaited, suddenly connecting many dots in his head. A fulfillment or a fulfillment, a completeness. Everything around him felt familiar, as though he knew it all. A kind of wheel was being lifted. And then I want to move on to the part where we dive into the book. He finds
mm.
a letter in it. So this is how the letter is addressed. To whosoever finds the letter. This letter that you hold in your hand has found you. The universe has its own timing to set things right. The clues, signs you received are all the creation of this cosmos to help you reconnect with reality and draw your attention to the laws of the universe. The fact that you are reading this letter proves your purpose of life. You are the chosen one. And then we go on to read other contents of the book, and we also come to know how Vikramaditya is related to the author of this book. I like this meta reference where you are using your own book in the future. Nicely done. So yeah, go check out this book on Amazon to find out what is there in this book and how is Vikramaditya related to this book and the author. Okay, so Monica, first of all, I had a few questions related to my reading of the book and, to understand how this book came about and what your writing process is all about. So I had a few questions if you would be kind enough to answer them. Okay.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Please.
So my first question to you is, how did you balance the deeply personal nature of the book with the universality that you hope to connect with to the reader? How did you come up with that?
Uh, well, first of all, I would say, what this book, I have written it from my heart and soul. It is a very intuitive book. I'll be very honest. It is not a planned thing, okay, I would work at this, or this would be my narrative, or this is how I'm going to have it, in a particular format. So it was just a flow. So for me, first of all, it was always that I want to write a book. And with my rich life experiences and the changes which I personally have evolved in life, it was something that I had to pen it down because I mean, the reflective part of me shows me what I was and what I am today. And how every challenge has only polished me or made me better or taught me so much more and has opened up my heart to expansion. So, when you say about this, how did I manage this? It is more about the flow from the heart rather than from the head. It's very intuitive, and it was, like first experience what I am all about. If you would see, where I've written about, I'm a hands-on mom, love my household, and that's my whole corporate office on my own company, you could say. That's my family. And slowly, how I have gone on from one step to the other. So the flow and the narrative has been very a natural progression. So there was nothing what had to be combined within a thoughtful manner. And then if I talk about the sci-fi part of it, the science fiction which we started with that part, it is, more about what I see today. So I belong to the Gen X, uh, generation X. So what it is, we have seen having that telephone where we used to sit and dial innumerable times. And if the phone is engaged, we would cut it and dial again. We would send a telegram. We would book a phone call. I remember, even booking a call for Pune, and we used to wait it out, and our operator on the other side from the exchange would call us and say, "Can we connect you? 3 minutes." There would be a beep. 3 minutes up. Do you want to extend it? So we belong to that generation. And today, everything is on the cell phone. We are doing Insta Live. So the world is, it's a different world. So what has happened is we have stopped connecting with our own selves. And that is what I see. Even today, there are times when I have to myself as well very consciously keep my phone aside. Okay, I don't want to have the phone, I will keep it aside. Let me be connected to myself. We are always excited what's happening in the outside world. What are the WhatsApp messages for the day? Did I miss out? Have I missed out my friend's message or family's message or anybody's message? So when do I connect with myself? So this is something what with the different apps come in, we are dependent on the apps. So when I saw all of these changes, our dependency towards these gadgets, towards all of this, I really felt we have stopped connecting. Hence the sci-fi part wherein you do not know there is a world beyond us, beyond this, or there is the non-physical form, or there is so much more out there in the universe. It's all out there, but we just cannot even look at it. We cannot feel it because we are just connected to all of this around us.
Yes.
So all of these experiences just brought me into penning it down, all my feelings, and yeah, that's how it just went with the flow.
Okay. And was there a conscious effort from your side where you were trying that let's not make it so much personal that people would disconnect? How do I give it a touch where people would be able to relate more? There is a feeling of universality within what you are trying to say. Was there a conscious effort, and how did you put it through?
Yeah. Well, yes, a very great question. Definitely, there was a conscious effort of knowing what I'm going to pen and what I'm going to put it out into the book for the people to read. So, first of all, I have to admit this that when we say challenges and when we navigate life, and if we feel that I have moved past those challenges or I know how to navigate, and I don't hold anyone accountable but myself because these are my reactions to life. Okay, each challenge, my reaction to it is the my state of mind is my reaction.
Hmm.
So the moment, and then I hold myself accountable. It's just me who's accountable for everything.
Hmm.
The moment I talk about everything else, that means I'm not still holding myself accountable. I have not moved past my challenges and I'm still in the victim mode.
Hmm.
So once you have crossed that, that is when I'm accountable for my life, for my reactions to life, I'm accountable, I'm responsible, I know what I am about, is only when I can go to the next step of knowing what I'm writing and consciously me being accountable for my reactions. Simple. That's the bottom line. So nobody else is in the picture, but it's just me, myself. So that was a very conscious effort, but it came slowly. It just didn't happen overnight. It was, as each step went by. And in fact, while I was writing, it was a cathartic experience by itself.
Hmm.
So, every time you write, you're on the next step. You write, you're on the next step. And you see, okay, it's simpler. Life is simple. Life is beautiful. What am I holding on to? What am I doing? So you just take it forward. So, yes, it was a conscious effort.
Lovely. And uh, adding on to that question itself, how well do you think you have been able to connect with the readers while using your personal life as an example to bring in that relatability and universality?
So I think we all go through life in the same pattern, right? We are in this universe, we all. So pain is subjective. Pain is pain, challenge is challenge. Life is life. Navigating life, how you can navigate it is, is the same. It's about, as I just said, I'm repeating, it's our reactions towards what comes our
Hmm.
way. That's all it is. So the impact that it has on us. So with time, with knowledge, with wisdom, the impact is much lesser
Hmm.
than what it would have been if I did not know much then.
Hmm.
So what happens is all of us, the universe, everyone, each one of us goes through the same thing in different forms, in different times, at different stages in life. Again, our reaction, some is very intense, some are
Hmm.
very okay, some are very cool, and some just identify with their pain.
Hmm.
They get so attached to the pain that they become, you feel that you're that pain,
Hmm.
you're that person. Then what happens is our personalities change, our behaviors change. We start wearing masks for different things, then we lose our authentic self, and we start moving away from our authentic self by, trying to just make different personalities, wearing different masks, putting on, a different face, and the impact gets stronger.
Hmm.
So so this is the theme of life, basically. This is the basic theme of existence, for us, for existence. So this is what we all live on. We live, some of us are more lean toward the personal self. That is, when you're just so busy working, looking at your own talents, trying to build your life. Some of us are more leaning towards the social side where, you want to build a name in society with self-esteem, have a status. Some of us lean towards spirituality, where we believe that you surrender to the universe and you sit in peace and you say, okay, life will take it on where it has to be taken. So each is, vibrating on different levels. It's the common theme. You are born on this earth. This is a common theme for all of us. But each of us vibrates differently at different frequencies,
Hmm.
different levels, and we all are. So the common, as you said about, how did I do this? Because this is what we are all about. So it relates to everyone at different ways, how they perceive it, how their perception is. So it's
Lovely.
everything is same for all of us.
Lovely.
That's my belief. That's my belief.
Okay, thank you so much for answering that so well. Yeah. Which brings me to my next question. The book uses poetic language, yet it touches on things like psychology, spirituality, and science fiction. How did you find the right tone to hold all of it together? And did you experiment with other formats before deciding on the kind of writing style and the kind of genre that you really wanted to use in the book?
Well, I have to admit that, of course, this is my first book, and there was again, I didn't think too much, or maybe I could even say that, yeah, in school and whenever it comes to writing, because I've always been, good with my essay writings, and I write quotes. I think certain things just come maybe because, or because of our learning. We used to write letters in school, we used to write comprehensions and compositions and all of that. So I think maybe that's just gotten to me and very comfortable with writing. So, working on a particular format or, genre, as you said, or some way which I have thought earlier, it was never so. If you say poetic, I think because it is something written from the soul
Hmm.
completely, it just gets into that flow which comes out from your soul.
Okay.
And yeah, I think that's how it is.
Lovely. So the whole book and the whole style of your writing is very intuitive, and it comes from your heart and from your experiences. And it's not more of a method. It's more like I'm understanding. It's more like going as you feel and going as you write. Right? It's very
Yes.
spontaneous, and at the moment what you're feeling, it comes on the paper.
Yeah, absolutely. Because see, I could never even, think how this would go and, where it would be shaped. It was just penning down, and then once it's all penned, collected, and then you break it down into different chapters and the flow, and it just comes with the flow. I cannot say more about that because I that is what I can say. It come
Yeah,
very
yeah, that's
naturally.
right.
That's
Right.
it.
That's what I picked up. Yeah, that you're an intuitive writer. There's no formulated method for it. You are learning as you go, and you are developing the writing also as you go.
Yeah, because I do remember when I was editing my book, the time that I took to write was barely anything, and editing went on like forever, I think. I was each time I used to edit, I could only add more to it, and refine it. So, yeah, so it just was, cleaning it up, writing, and what has to be presented was more challenging than writing the book. So, yeah, that's how
That's
it is.
always the case. Yes, the editing part is the more difficult part. I
Yes.
can relate to that. Okay, so that brings me to the end of my questions that I had for you, Monica. You have also read my book, Embraces in Ink, and now
Yes.
the floor is yours.
Okay. Wow. And yeah, thank you. And your book, Embraces in Ink, it floored me, I have to say. First of all, when I was reading, I was like intrigued, I could say. I was taken aback. I was surprised. I could use how many ever adjectives because it was
Thank
so
you very
beautiful. I never
much.
thought, I'll tell you, I never ever thought about speaking about the rain, a quilt, small little things. I mean, the water, any little thing, like you have managed to imbibe
Thank you.
the living and the non-living, and you've spoken about them, and this is so beautiful. So there is so much of thought gone into it, more than I would even imagine, because so deeply I have never thought of anything. Okay, I drink water. Thank you. Okay, I drank water. I'm done. I could never think about a bottle. Like the way you have put it. Okay, so you have a bottle. So now, when thinking in your words, okay, not my words, thinking in your words is like I say, oh, the bottle which holds the water, which I can hold and I can drink it, right? Something.
Good. Good. Yes. I'm just going
Something.
to show everyone the cover. Give me a few seconds. So this is the book
Yes.
that we're talking about, Embraces in Ink, and it's a collection of prose poetry letters that I've written to different people and things, and that's what Monica is talking about. Please go on.
Yes. And So I was like, that's a beautiful book. And look at the cover. You made a very serene cover for it.
Thank you.
And that's lovely. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, when I was actually reading it, it really, I couldn't think of something like how this theme that you have come up. So I think, should I read an excerpt of your book? What has touched my heart? Or do you want me to ask you
No, no,
questions
no.
for you? Whatever.
Let's start with the reading first, then we move on to the questions.
Super, great. So now, when you have written in your book about to various people, so this what I would be reading is about your. You've written that letter to your dear present self. All right. So the dear present self, I see you leading the kind of life you've always wanted to, at least on most days. I see you achieving the goals you set out to accomplish, sometimes even more. I see you working hard and giving your best, even in things you don't particularly enjoy. I see you being a better version of yourself, growing every single day. And I just wanted to say it's okay to let things be sometimes. Saying no or letting others handle things is fine. It's okay to not be good at some things. Not everything is your cup of tea. It's okay to not follow the to do list on days you feel down. Take a break once in a while. It's okay to be vulnerable, weak, and even break down. You can't be strong all the time. Also, I want you to remember, don't be so hard on yourself that you forget to appreciate how far you have come. Don't let the noise of negativity the drown out the positive notes. Don't be friendly, forgiving, and accepting of everything and everyone. Don't push yourself to do things for those who know only to take and never give back. Love a two-breast friend, yourself. Isn't this amazing? Wow.
Thank you. Thank you for reading that out and doing it so wonderfully. You read it out so well. I was also admiring my words. I was like, wow, क्या कमाल लिखा है.
No, I mean, so this is so true, and we are never kind to ourselves. Like you have spoken your heart, and I think just reading it once doesn't do justice to it because to imbibe it, to feel it, every word, to hold on to every word, I think one has to just read it twice, thrice to just get into that essence. You've written it so beautifully, and that's the most part which has touched me so much, and I had to read it, and I can still read it again.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So now moving on to the questions which I had when I was reading your book. I was so intrigued by all that beautiful words that you have written. So for me, it was the word embrace, its significance in the context of your book, whereby you have addressed each and every aspect, each and every corner, nook, everything of life from living to non living. To yourself, that is in your past, present, future, and you have written one on the ideal self. So I was confused. I wanted to read the ideal self too, because that's again another wow. Coming back to the question, it's in three parts. So the first part of the question is what is it that you're trying to convey to us with all the words that you have written?
I think mostly I just want to tell people that you can find joy and smiles. Your source of joys and smiles can be the simplest of things in your everyday life. I think that was the main motive behind writing all these letters. Because while I was writing them, I was uh, understanding how much these things and people mean to me also. And
Mm.
I was also beginning to understand the lack of these things and people would make my life so colorless. So I just wanted people also to feel that while reading it. So that was the main motive.
Mhm. Okay, and ask you part B and C as well. Then you can, amalgamate and help give me the answers. So first, as I said, what is it that you're trying to convey? What are the emotions you are addressing? And is there a gap or a bridge that you are trying to cross past while writing this book?
I think mostly the emotions that I'm trying to convey are majorly on gratitude and feeling grateful for the things that we have in life. The bridge
Mhm.
I think I'm trying to cross, or more or less have crossed while writing the book, is just being happy about what I have rather than complaining about what I don't have. So
Mhm.
that's what I was trying to. I mean, it's not. I'm not completely there. I'm not, कृष्ण नहीं हूँ मैं. कि सब कुछ में खुशी मिल जाए मुझे. I'm still learning how to, not complain about the smallest of things in my everyday life. I'm still learning how
Mhm.
to do that, but at least I know that I'm not perfect and I've accepted my flaws. And I'm working towards becoming a better person every day. So, yeah, that's the bridge that I'm trying to cross.
Okay, so to get a better version or towards the ideal self that you have written?
Yes. There's no, I don't believe there is the word perfect is, it's very relative. So there
Yes.
is nothing as the perfect, or, that's the best. It's just about being better than, you were yesterday or you are today.
Absolutely. That's so beautiful. So it's, actually, as you're saying, is about the emotion is gratitude, and that feeling where you want to keep on working and crossing the bridge, or filling up the gap, crossing the bridge towards being your better self or the higher self, where keep on growing and moving forward. That's so beautiful.
Thank you.
And that actually comes out. I'm sure people, whoever, all of you should read this book because it would touch you from, every bit of the book has a meaning to it, has something for each reader. That is for sure. And yes, you can tell me, how did you reach to every reader? How did you get, extract all of these living and non-living things?
So that's going to be an answer in three or four parts. The first part would be where I must confess that I've been writing poetry for the longest period as a writer. I've been writing poetry since I was a teenager, so it's been over 2 decades now of doing poetry. And whenever I sit down to write poetry or express my feelings through writing, it comes in a very poetic form, which can be, free form or letters. So these are the two forms of poetry that I'm very close to. So that's
Mm.
one which led to the making of this book. Then came uh, various community factors which I'm a part of. So the first part was to, if Nilshri is here, she is a very dear friend, Nilshri. She runs an online magazine called called Authropod magazine, and in November 2023, they came up with a writing challenge where we were supposed to write letters. They had given us prompts for all days of the month. 50 different prompts for letter writing were given to us, and that's when the book was inceptualized.
Okay.
Journey began from there. They gave us the prompts to write letters to different people. So the letters that are addressed to, people in the book, like ideal self, future self, past self, present self, father, mother, long lost friend, somebody you
Right.
admire, somebody you envy, uh, uh, to a stranger. All those letters were through that particular writing challenge, which had given us prompts to write those various letters. And then I continued the same letter writing for another challenge. This was in November 2023. The next challenge came up in April 2024. And
Mm-hmm.
I continued the same thing. I had almost written letters to most of the people that I wanted to address through the letters. And in the second challenge, in that we were supposed to use each letter of the English alphabet to write every day of the month. So, for
Mm.
instance, A for artists, B for something else, C for curtains, and C for COVID
Oh,
vaccine and all
okay.
that. So, yeah. So I
Wow.
think that challenge is another part of, to challenge myself creatively. That let's use the letters to address things rather than addressing people. So keyboard and COVID vaccine and all of that came up in that particular challenge. So by the end of the two challenges, I had about 45 or 50 letters already. And then I went back to my repository because as I mentioned, I've been doing letter writing for a long time.
Long time, yes.
Yeah, and I have an active blog where I have been sharing certain letters like these for the past few years now. So I went back to my repository and checked if any of those letters could fit the theme of this book, and then I just compiled them all together, and that's how Embraces came
Wow, that's lovely. That's lovely.
out.
Yeah. So now the next question, yes, which I am again, as I said when I was reading, I was very intrigued. So this came up. You have put life into the characters, as you just spoke, about all of that you have done. So which are the characters, living or non-living, that is closest to your heart, and why? And what does that character represent in your life?
I think the ones that I've written to the things I used on a daily basis, like the keyboard, I think that keyboard or the journal. Uh, and if we look at people, I think the the ones that are closest to me are my parents and my husband, my life partner. I've written letters to those people also, and then there are friends, of course. So yeah, I think these are the three, four, five people that I've
Hmm.
addressed through my letters that I'm the closest to.
Okay. And but what does it represent to you? What does it feel?
They
What?
they represent the kind of growth that I have gone through as a person because they are very much responsible for the person that I am today. Whatever good or bad that has happened with my life, they have stood by me. And, I am the person that I am today. In fact, this book or my entire writing journey would not have been possible if those people were not there by my side.
Okay, wow, that's lovely.
And that includes the things also because without the internet and the keyboard and my phone and social media, nothing would have been possible.
Yes,
So
nothing is.
yeah.
Absolutely. We sitting across today from which different parts of the globe, and they're all connected.
Exactly. Yes.
So yes.
So it's an interesting mix up of people and things, and that is why the book is so relatable. I mean, the things that I have addressed, they are important to all of us.
Yes, absolutely. Totally, totally agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that brings us to the end of the questions that we had for each other.
Yes.
And let's move on to my favorite part, which is the rapid fire round. So,
Oh,
Monica, for this, how we'll go is one question I ask, one question you ask. Okay?
okay,
I'll
fine, great.
start off. So, my first question to you is if your secret code, as you have mentioned in the book, and we discover while reading the book what the secret code is. So, if your secret code had a color, what would it be and why?
Well, it would be blue because blue represents serenity, expansion, sky, calmness, inspiration, beauty, everything, spirituality. So yeah, it would be blue.
Lovely. Okay,
Yeah.
your turn.
So yeah. One moment today that stirred your inspiration.
One moment today that stirred my inspiration. Wow, that's a I, I my day has actually just begun. So you've put me in a fix because I have not actually started working. I am 2.5 hours behind you, so no.
Oh, okay.
So maybe talking to you and understanding your process of writing the book and how this book came about and your point of view related to life. As you were mentioning, I was able to understand your writing better and philosophy of life. Everyone has a different philosophy of life. And I was able to your philosophy of life was very inspiring to listen to. As you said that we are living in the same world, but the way we react to things is different. So, yeah, I found that very inspiring.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. My next question to you is if your book were a song, what genre would the song be? And also tell us about the song. Which song would it be?
Huh. Oh my God. First of all, I'm musically challenged. I like listening to music, but I'm not I cannot remember too much. But yeah, I mean, little bit what I can. Some things that touch my heart. So the genre would be definitely Sufi.
Hmm.
It would be a Sufi song, and for me, it would be like the song would be this latest song now. It's that Joom Joom. I can tell you, like Pira Nu Main Sine Lava. Gee, I'm so bad. Am I sounding bad or good? I
No,
don't know.
not at all. Please go on.
Because as I said, for me, music doesn't come so easy. It's just nice to my ear. So it's this song, it's a Sufi song. पीड़ा नू में सीने लावा तू मैं हंसती जावा दुख भी अपने सुख भी अपने I'm bad. Wait.
I'm so
Forgive me for
I'm
this.
also
So
not
it
able
is,
to help
yeah, so
you,
it is a
but
lovely,
I don't know the song. Yeah, I'm
okay.
also not able to help you.
Yeah, so it is by Parveen Nada. It's a Sufi song by this Parveen. And so it is, Sukh bhi and I can just say it a little, Sukh bhi apne, Dukh bhi apne seene se laga de. And, he cares about the world. And
Okay.
tum jhoom lo. Please,
Oh,
everybody, forgive me for this, but
oh,
that is what it
yeah.
is.
I'm getting a little bit of hint of the song that you're referring to. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if it's the song that I am
It's
recollecting.
got a very nice tapping thing, tu jhoom. This is what keeps playing in my head.
Okay,
So that's the only thing I can go by. The rest I'm sorry.
thank you so much for sharing that. It's okay.
So
Okay.
you challenged me to another level out of my comfort, out of everything.
Okay. I'm sure you also have an equally challenging question for me now. So let's go
Yes.
to your.
Okay. If you are the quilt, what would it say to you?
If I am the
Quilt. The quilt.
oh the letter that I've written to the quilt.
Yes. So what would it say to you?
I think the quilt would say that at least leave me on days when it's not really cold. हमेशा मेरे साथ चिपके रहने की जरूरत नहीं है.
That's that's cute.
Because yeah, I am with that comforter and quilt almost every day of the year. There's not whenever I'm on the sofa, the quilt is on my on my feet. It's covering some part of my body.
So actually somehow I had this intuitively that the quilt means a lot to you, and that's why this question.
Yeah, it's literally my comforter.
Yes.
Okay, next question for you. Most used emoji when texting about your book. When you're telling people about your book through chatting, which emoji do you use the most?
So for me, it is always, actually see again, अभी थोड़ा Gen X को pass on कर लेना that I don't know what each emoji is, what do you convey through it, but for me it's always that face with smiling hearts. It's always
Oh,
that.
the yeah, heart eyes. It's called the heart
Yeah,
eyes emoji.
exactly. Yes. You got it.
See,
Because it represents me. So whenever I have to say about my book, it's about that. So it's like eyes are lit up or heart eyes, happy eyes, as you said. So that's the one.
see, I belong to the generation which is between you and the Gen Z. So we are like we are like the confused generation. We understand both generations a little bit. That's why
Yes.
I understood.
You understood immediately. Yes.
Okay, your turn.
Okay. If you're a robo, what would be the first action you would be taking toward change?
I think teaching people to disconnect, which will go completely against the nature of the robot.
The robo, exactly. That's very smart.
देखो रोबो विल बी लाइक हाँ बस थोड़ा कम यूज करो हमें बस.
So I think you're contradicting robo and disconnect. This is superb. Nice.
Okay. My next question to you is one color that best represents the mood of embraces in ink and why?
For me, it is when I was reading, yeah, it was always green, because green, because it is all about growth. It's about green represents growth, learnings, renewal, new beginnings. It's everything is hara bhara, very nice. It's about acknowledging. So yeah, green is the color.
And also we have a poem dedicated to the rains. So yes.
Yes.
Okay, my last question to you is I love this question and I want to see your take on it. If
Okay.
both your book, which is Journey from I to Me, and my book, Embraces in Ink, were people, would they be soulmates, best friends, or strangers who meet on a train?
Okay, so for me, it would definitely be soulmates because for me, it is, I'll tell you, your book embraces it because, yeah, soulmates because it embraces the journey of life from I to me along how we take it forward, go along in life. So we are embracing the journey of life and weaving a magic carpet for transcendence.
Wow, wonderful. Thank you for answering that so well. Okay, your last question.
Yeah, gratitude in one word.
Life, I think.
Oh, wow. Oh my God. That's so positive and it just feels,
Yeah.
yeah. Wow. That's beautiful.
Okay, and that brings us to the last segment of the episode, which is the gratitude bingo. Since in this season I am focusing a lot on the theme of gratitude, the book Embraces in Ink is also all about being grateful. So I have
Mhm.
included a small bingo, which is called the gratitude bingo, and I'm just going to ask you a bunch of questions. You need to answer them in yes or no. Okay, are you
Okay.
ready?
Only yes or yes
Only yes
or no.
or no. Yes.
Okay.
First one. Did a random act of kindness.
Yes.
Lovely. Next one. Paid gratitude to an object.
Yeah, when talking to you, I said thank you to my bottle.
Okay. Lovely. Okay. Next one. Wrote a gratitude letter.
No.
Oh, you should try. It's very therapeutic. Okay. Next one. Said sorry to someone in the last 24 hours.
Yes.
Okay. Next one. Said thank you to someone in the last 24 hours.
Yes.
Okay. Next one. Hugged someone in the last 24 hours.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Great. Next one. Said something nice or paid a compliment to someone in the last 24 hours.
Yes.
Okay. Next one. Forgive someone who hurt you in life, not 24 hours.
In 24
No,
hours, you're saying?
no, in life.
Oh, yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Okay. Next one. Help someone without any motive or expectation.
Yes.
Next one. Give someone a shout out in the last 24 hours.
No.
Not. It's not necessarily a shout out on the internet. You could have just talked positively about them to someone.
Huh. Yeah. Yeah. That is there. Yes.
Okay.
That is there.
Okay. Next one. Listen to someone with empathy without judgment.
Yes. All the time.
Okay. Lovely. Next one. Spend quiet time alone outside.
Oh, yes. It's a daily
Okay.
practice.
Okay. Next one. Did not complain a whole day.
No.
Love it. I'm so glad to hear that because there have been very few people who have said yes on this, and Most people fall in the no, and I also fall in that. It makes me feel very happy when people say no.
Yes, we try but नहीं हो ही जाता है
Yeah,
कंप्लीट हो ही
exactly.
जाता है
Okay, next one. Wrote three things you like about yourself. Wrote, not necessarily wrote, you thought also is count.
in in 24 hours you're saying or over time?
In life.
In life, yes, yes, yes. Learning, I've learned through that. Yeah,
Okay, okay. Nice. Next one. Wrote three things you like about your parents.
I haven't written.
No, but
No.
thinking is also
That's part of it. Yes, that's part of it. Yeah.
okay. Lovely. Next one. Wrote three things you like about someone you envy.
No.
Okay. Okay. इतना बड़ा दिल नहीं है मेरा. Okay, next one. Wrote three things you like about a friend or a colleague.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Next one. Helped, mentored, or shared knowledge with someone.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Next one. Watch the sunset in the past month.
Yes, yes. Almost every day.
So lovely. Next one. Observe or appreciated nature and its elements.
Yes.
Okay. Lovely. Next one. Sat in the sunlight in the past week.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Sat in the sunlight in the past week.
Yeah, on and off. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Great. Next one. Made someone laugh or smile in the last 24 hours.
Yes.
Okay. Lovely. Next one. Turned or looked at a negative situation in a positive manner.
Yeah, absolutely. All the time.
Oh, lovely. Next one. Did something this month that you have been wanting to do for a long time.
Yes.
Okay, lovely. And the last one. Took ownership or responsibility for your mistake.
Yes, yes, I have to. Journey from I to me is all about that.
Yes, true, true. Okay, you have done quite well. I think there were only a few where you were like, no. Well done, Monica.
Thank you.
Okay, that brings us to the end of today's episode. I'm just going to quickly scroll up and see if we had any comments from the people that we have probably missed addressing. P. Dodeja, I think once said that, well said. Is that your daughter?
My daughter, yes.
Okay. We had Anita here who had said hi. Hi, Anita, if you're still here. Neelam Punjabi had also said hi. Hi,
She's
Neelam,
my
if you're still here.
sister. She's my
Oh,
sister.
lovely. Hi, Neelam, if you're still here. Nilshri had said yes. Hey, Nilshri, thank you for joining. Nilshri is the one I was talking about, Arthropod magazine's founder, and who was responsible for the inception of this book.
Oh, lovely.
Okay, so
Hi.
it has been wonderful. I asked this question to almost every guest, especially those guests I had a lot of fun interacting with. So I'm going to ask you, when are you coming up with the next book so I can invite you again?
Well, actually, it's there in the mind, but I haven't gotten about starting and writing anything. It's again, I don't know if when that intuitive flow comes and I just get going. But yeah, nothing in action currently. But yeah, so nothing as of now. But do invite me. We can just chit chat. We have so much to talk about.
For sure. If my schedule allows me, because this happens every Friday and I do have,
Of course,
many authors lined up already.
I'm sure. That was just like
But you
okay.
can chat otherwise also. Without the live also you can chat.
Yes, yes. So yeah, but nothing. It is in the mind. I hope so. Maybe I get inspired after today and I just get going and start
I
writing. I would
hope
love
so. I really hope so. This works as an inspiration and motivation for you, and you bring out the next book as soon as possible. All the best
to.
to you for that. And once
Thank
again, thank you for joining me. Any parting words from
Yes, thank you. Of course, I would love to say thank you to you for having me on this and where we can speak. There's just one thing I would like to tell all our listeners and viewers is that life is very beautiful. Do not attach yourself to the challenges that we face. just look at life, just keep the challenges aside and just breathe, enjoy, and live every day the best you can. That's
Thank
it. Thank
you.
you.
Wow, such wise and positive words to end the episode with. Thank you for sharing those, and I look forward to hosting you again. Thank you for joining me one more time, and have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.